In the bustling heart of Lagos, where the city's vibrant energy pulsed through crowded streets and towering buildings, lived a devoted couple, Kemi and Dele. Married for 4 years, their love was a quiet strength, a bond that weathered life's storms. And bobbin that weathered life's storms. I think Baythri though, Mirthus died. Yet, beneath their shared laughter and tender moments, a void lingered, a longing for a child to complete their family. Despite countless visits to doctors, endless prayers, and unwavering hope, Kemi's arms remained empty. The dream of parenthood seemed to slip further away with each passing year. One humid evening, after a long day navigating the city's chaos, Kemi sat in their cozy living room, her gaze lost in the flicker of a candle on the coffee table. The weight of another fruitless doctor's visit pressed heavily on her heart. Dele entered, his footsteps soft against the tiled floor, and immediately noticed the sorrow clouding her eyes. He sat beside her, his presence a quiet comfort. "Kemi," he said gently, his voice steady but laced with concern. "I know this is hard, I feel it too, but we can't lose hope." Kemi's eyes glistened with unshed tears. 4 years, Dele. 4 years of tests, prayers, and waiting. "I'm tired. What if this is our fate? What if we're never meant to have a child?" Dele took her hand, his grip firm yet tender. "Don't say that. We don't know what tomorrow holds. There's always a way, we just haven't found it yet." Kemi shook her head, her voice breaking. "Everywhere I go, I see mothers with their babies. It's like a knife in my heart every time. I don't know how much more I can take." Dele's chest tightened at her words. He hated seeing her in such pain, a pain he shared but rarely voiced. "Kemi, we'll get through this together. We'll keep searching until we find a solution. I promise." She leaned into his embrace, finding solace in his warmth. "I want to believe you, Dele. But it's so hard." He kissed her forehead, his resolve unwavering. "We'll face whatever comes together. If there's a way to make our dream come true, we'll find it." In that moment, as they held each other, a spark of determination flickered. They didn't have all the answers, but they knew they couldn't give up. Their love, their shared dream of a family, was worth fighting for. Days later, another disappointing doctor's visit left Kemi and Dele reeling. The specialist's words were stark. Their chances of conceiving naturally were slim, almost non-existent. The news hit like a tidal wave, leaving them adrift in a sea of uncertainty. That evening, as they sat in silence, the weight of the diagnosis hung heavy in the air. Dele broke the quiet, his voice tentative but hopeful. "Kemi, what if we explored another option? What if someone else could carry our baby for us?" Kemi's brow furrowed, her mind racing. "You mean surrogacy?" "Dele, how would that even work? Who could we trust with something so precious?" Dele leaned forward, his eyes earnest. "I've been reading about it. There are women who help couples use women who carry a child for them. It's not common here, but it's possible. We could find someone we trust, someone who understands how much this means to us." Kemi's heart pounded at the idea. It was a path she'd never considered, one fraught with uncertainty but also brimming with possibility. "It sounds overwhelming. How would we even start? And what if it doesn't work? We'd be careful," Dele reassured her.
Squeezing her hand. "We'd talk to the right people, make sure everything is clear and safe. It could be our chance, Kemi. The chance to finally hold our child." The idea stirred a mix of hope and fear in Kemi's chest. It was a monumental decision, one that could change their lives forever. But as she looked into Dele's eyes, she saw the same longing that burned in her own heart. "Let's think about it," she said softly. "Let's take our time and see if this is the answer we've been praying for." Over the next few days, the couple discussed the possibility of surrogacy, weighing the risks and rewards. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but the thought of finally becoming parents kept them anchored. The question remained, who could they trust with such an intimate role? Their thoughts kept circling back to Eniola, their house help of many years. Eniola was more than an employee. She was family. At 24, she was young, healthy, and kind-hearted, always treating Kemi and Dele with respect and warmth. They trusted her implicitly, and the more they considered it, the more they believed she might be the answer to their prayers. One morning after breakfast, Kemi and Dele invited Eniola to join them in the living room. She wiped her hands on her apron, her expression curious but cautious as she sat across from them. "Eniola," Kemi began, her voice gentle but nervous. "We have something important to discuss with you." Eniola's eyes widened slightly. "Is everything okay, Ma?" Dele nodded, offering a reassuring smile. "Everything's fine. We just have a special request, and we want you to think about it carefully." Eniola leaned forward, her curiosity piqued. What is it, sir? Kemi took a deep breath, glancing at Dele for support before continuing. You know how much we've wanted a child, Eniola. We've tried everything, but it hasn't worked. Been thinking about surrogacy, someone carrying our baby for us, and we were wondering if you'd be willing to help us. Eniola's mouth fell open, shock etched across her face. Carry your baby? Me? Yes, Della said softly. We trust you, Eniola. You're like family to us. We take care of everything, medical expenses, anything you need, and we'd pay you well millions of naira for helping us. Eniola's mind spun. Millions of naira. It was a sum she could scarcely imagine, enough to transform her life and her family's back in the village. But this wasn't just about money, it was a profound responsibility. I don't know what to say, she stammered, her heart racing. Kemi reached out, her touch gentle. No, it's a lot to ask. We don't want you to feel pressured. Take your time to think about it. We'll support you, whatever you decide. Dele nodded. If you have any questions, just ask. We want you to feel comfortable. Eniola managed a small nod, her thoughts a whirlwind. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, sir. I'll think about it. As she left the room, her mind buzzed with possibilities. The offer was life-changing, but it came with a weight she wasn't sure she could carry that night. Eniola lay awake, staring at the ceiling of her small room. The idea of millions of naira danced in her mind, mingling with the enormity of what Kemi and Dele were asking. She thought of her family struggling in their rural village, and how this money could lift them out of poverty. She thought of Kemi and Dele, their kindness, their pain, and their desperate hope for a child. But could she do it? Could she carry their baby and walk away? The next day, as Eniola cleaned the kitchen, her phone buzzed. It was Duwak, her childhood friend who had moved abroad 2 years ago. Eniola answered, forcing a cheerful tone despite the turmoil in her mind. Eniola, how's my favorite person doing? Duwak's voice was bright, carrying the confidence of someone who had carved out a new life far from home. I'm okay, Eniola replied, hesitating, just thinking about something big. Uduak's tone shifted to concern. What's going on? You sound troubled. Eniola took a deep breath and poured out the story, Kemi and Dele's request, the offer of millions of naira, the weight of the decision. When she finished, there was a long pause on the other end. Wow, Uduak finally said. That's huge, Eniola. Millions of naira, that's life, changing money. I know, Eniola said, her voice barely above a whisper, but it's not just about the money, it's a baby, their baby, their baby. What if I can't do it? What if I regret it? Uduak was quiet for a moment before responding. Listen, Eniola, life abroad is different. It's hard work, but the opportunities are endless. With that kind of money, you could come here, start fresh, build something for yourself and your family. This could be your ticket to a better life. Eniola's heart raced at the thought. She had always dreamed of escaping the struggles of her village, of building a future where she could stand tall. But carrying someone else's baby, it's so much to take on. I get it, Uduak said. It's a big decision. But think about what you could do with that money. You could help your family, travel, start over. This could be your chance to change everything. That night, Eniola lay awake again, Uduak's words echoing in her mind. The idea of a new life abroad, free from the constraints of her current existence, was intoxicating. She thought of her parents, her siblings, the endless struggle to make ends meet. She thought of Kemi and Dele, their kindness, their pain. Slowly, a decision began to. The next morning, Eniola approached Kemi and Dele, her heart pounding but her resolve firm. They were in the living room, their faces lighting up with cautious hope as she entered. Ma, sir, Eniola began, her voice steady. I've thought about your offer. I've decided to help you. I'll carry your baby. Kemi's eyes filled with tears as she reached for Eniola's hand. Oh, Eniola, thank you. You have no idea what this means to us. Dela's voice was thick with emotion. We'll make sure everything goes smoothly. You're giving us the greatest gift, and we'll take care of you. Eniola smiled, a mix of nervousness and determination swirling within her. I trust you both. I know this is the right thing to do. As she left the room, a quiet resolve settled over her. This was her chance. Not just to help Kemi and Dele, but to secure a future she had only dreamed of. The money would be her key to a new life, a life she could build on her own terms. The surrogacy process began with careful planning. Kemi and Dele worked with a lawyer to draft a clear agreement ensuring Eniola's protection and their own. The document outlined that Eniola would carry their child, and upon delivery, Kemi and Dele would assume full parenthood, with Eniola receiving the promised payment. Eniola signed the agreement, her hands steady but her mind racing with thoughts of the future. Months later, Eniola became pregnant, and the household buzzed with cautious joy. Kemi and Dele treated her with extra care, ensuring she had the best medical attention and anything she needed. As her belly grew, so did their excitement. You're glowing, Enyola, Kemi said one morning, her eyes shining as she placed a hand on Enyola's rounded stomach. I can't wait to meet our baby, Enyola smiled, but her thoughts were elsewhere. She was focused on the future, the money, the possibilities, the life waiting for her beyond Lagos. When the day of delivery arrived, Enyola gave birth to a healthy baby boy, whom Kemi and Dele named Toby, meaning God is great. Tears of camp of emotions. She had fulfilled her promise, but her journey was far from over. A year later, Enyola agreed to carry another child for Kemi and Dele. The process was smoother this time, the trust between them deeper, when Enyola gave birth to a baby girl named Ireti. Hope in Yoruba, Kemi and Dele's joy was boundless. Their family was complete, their home filled with the laughter of two children. You've given us everything we ever wanted, Kemi said one evening, cradling Ireti in her arms. Your family, Enyola. We'll always be here for you. Eniola nodded, her smile polite but distant. She was grateful for their kindness, but her mind was elsewhere. The money she had received was carefully saved, every naira a step toward her new life. She worked quietly, saving every penny, her plans taking shape in secret. One night, after putting Toby and Ireti to bed, Enyola packed her belongings. She moved silently, her heart heavy but resolute. She had fulfilled her part of the agreement, and now it was time to chase her own dreams. A small bag slung over her shoulder, she slipped out of the house and into the night, leaving no note, no explanation. The next morning, Kemi and Dele awoke to find Enyola's room empty. Confusion and worry gripped them. Where could she have gone? Kemi asked, her voice trembling. Dele shook his head, his face etched with concern. I don't know, but we'll find her. Despite their efforts, Enyola was gone, her whereabouts a mystery. She had boarded a plane to a new country, carrying the money she had earned and the dreams she had nurtured. Enyola's life abroad was a whirlwind of hard work and opportunity. With the money from Kemi and Dele, she secured a modest apartment and took on multiple jobs, determined to build a future. Over the years, with the help of new friends, she climbed the ranks, landing a stable job that paid well. She was proud of what she had achieved, but Toby and Ireti never left her thoughts. 7 years later, a call from Udiak stirred something within her. Have you thought about going back to Nigeria? Udiak asked. It's been a long time. Enyola paused, her heart heavy with the weight of her past. I've been thinking about it. It's time to go back, to reclaim what's mine.